All right, hopefully you can hear me here. I'm in my driveway right now at home here in Kentucky. As you can see, some of y'all, if you recognize that shed back there, it's where I put axes together and stuff a lot. And I was just wanting to kind of do a tour of the truck and then talk about, maybe ramble a little bit about my experience so far and everything. And not only that, about my YouTube channel as well and what my goals are with that and what I'm intending to do with it. Because I've built my YouTube channel mainly on firewood, and not just firewood, but just mainly swinging an axe, really. Because my channel has mainly been built on shorts, to be honest with you. That's where most of my subscribers come from. The majority, over, I'd say 95% of them are probably from shorts. And then there were some, though, who, when I was around 700 subscribers, were interested in the videos on Firewood, too. And those are mainly the ones that I associate with the most, really. Um, and that have been here for quite a while. And nobody owes me anything. Like, I don't expect you to support me. You don't owe me support or nothing like that. I never meant, I've heard myself in some of my videos, I've said things sometimes, and when I heard it myself, I thought, well, mate, that came out the way I didn't mean it. But nobody owes me anything. So if you do support me, I appreciate it, but you don't owe me anything. But if you do, I appreciate it very much. I've been home now. I got home Friday evening. So I've been home, that part of Friday evening, yesterday, Saturday, and then today is Sunday. So it's very nice. I love regional, getting to spend time with my family and stuff. And honestly, for me personally, I plan to do local in the long run to where I'm home every night. That's my plan in the long run. I think it's very important for a father figure to be home with his kids as much as he can. I think it has a lot of impact on your kids growing up. And I'm not trying to down anybody that like does, national. I'm not trying to do that, but I'm trying to say, in my opinion, I think it's very important that time. And so I want to try to spend as much time here with my kids as I can and my wife. And so in the long run, my goal is local, to get something here local. I don't know if rail will provide that. I don't know if they have anything like that local. But if not, I'll in the future, I don't know if I'll stay with rail. We'll see. I really like working for rail, but and I would like to stay with them even. But if they don't have local in my area in Kentucky, I'm not sure that I'll do that in the long run. I'm 32. I just turned 32, and so I'm willing and I'm able to work. I'm a hard worker. Local, you can make really good money as well. And for me personally, that time home, I believe it's very important for men to have with their children, especially when they're little like that. Mine are all little. I'm 32. My oldest is 11. The youngest is 2. So they're all little. And so I want as much time as I can have at home with them. I love trucking, I'll tell you that much. It is definitely something I could see myself doing for the rest of my life. Whether I will or not, I don't know. I've got lots of ideas in my head. Like, I'm really think about passive income a lot, to where you have like storage buildings and stuff like that, or mobile homes, even a mobile home park, or just an old fixer upper house. I found places here in Kentucky with land before the economy got real bad. I found places for like 7,000-8,000 with a house and a little piece of land, like maybe a quarter of an acre, but still. It was an old 2-story house that needed work, but still, I mean, you renovate that, you can rent that out, and that's passive income, which means you're collecting income while you're sleeping, from the best of my understanding. I've kind of looked into that a lot, because there's a guy that I followed on YouTube a lot. I really liked watching him. He's a little older than me, I think, but he does that for a living. Like, he's a woodworker, and he also remodels old fixer-upper homes. Like, he'll get them for like 5,000, 10,000, and he'll put a lot of work into them. He's really skilled carpenter and stuff like that, plumber, electrician. He's really like a handyman. He's really good, and I really like that. You may have heard of his channel before. It's called Homemade Home. If you've never heard of him, check him out if you like that kind of stuff. He's a very skilled young man, probably in his 30s, mid-30s, I'm guessing, just a little older than me. But he's very skilled at it, and he talks about passive income a lot, and I really always have enjoyed watching him and his videos, and that's something I hope to get into more, is the passive income thing. I don't want to depend myself on just relying on retirement. I'm not dependent on that. For one thing, I intend to work as long as I'm able to. I could die tomorrow. I could live to be 100 years old. I don't know, but if I do live to be an older man, I want to work for as long as I can. And I think lots of men do, honestly. I think maybe it ain't as common as it used to be. I don't believe it is, but I think there's still lots of men who like to work, who don't like to sit still too much. And I don't think it's good for us to either, honestly, to sit still too much. I like to be moving and doing stuff. Like even I very much enjoy my time at home here, and I love it. But at the same time, I'm looking forward to as well getting to go work, because I know that the goals that I have for my family and for other people as well, that work can make those goals achievable. You know, they're achievable, but that work can help me to achieve those goals. My point is, I've got lots of ideas in my head. I'm 32. I'm not saying I'm doing trucking the rest of my life. I'm not saying I'm not. I've even thought of trying tow trucking before, you know. But I definitely want that passive income stuff, because if I had, if every now and then I can get a little home here or a home there, a piece of property here, a piece of property there, even some to even build a cabin on, like a log cabin, off-grid log cabins. I'm wanting to do some log cabin builds for sure. And I intend to, Lord willing. I intend to. But if I can do some log cabin builds, even those off-grid, you can rent those out, you know, $100 a night or more. And on the weekends when people come, and maybe they like to try the off-grid experience. Maybe it gives them an experience to see if they want to do it themselves, you know, or not. A little taste of it. But I've got lots of ideas. I think about stuff like that a lot. And I'm not worried about building up all kinds of wealth. I just want to make sure I take care of my family. That's the main thing. I want to make sure I take care of my family. I've struggled in the past with jobs. Like I heard a guy say before I started working for myself, I really did working at some of the factories around here. Because around here, where I'm at located in Kentucky, there are some good paying jobs, really good paying jobs. And then there's some that just don't pay as good. Even though they're not real easy jobs at factories and stuff. And there were some where I struggled to pay the bills, you know. There were like couples working there, and it'd be a man and a woman, and, you know, they were both working and still maybe only making $60,000, $70,000 a year, which isn't bad money, you know, between two people. But when you've got a family of 6 and you're the only one working, and I like it that way, I prefer it that way. I'm old-fashioned. I love my wife being at home. Matter of fact, the Bible actually clearly says, let the women be keepers at home, it says. And it says that if any man provide not for his own, especially that of his own household, he is worse than an infidel. So it makes it very clear how important it is for a man to provide, and how that God wants the woman's role to be a keeper at home, because that's a job in itself. And that time that a mother has with her children is precious, and you can't replace it. So if your kids, and I'm not trying to offend nobody with this, but this is how I truly feel about it. I believe God's intention still today is for a woman to be a keeper at home, and for the man to provide for his household. I know that we're living in a time to where that maybe is a little harder, but there's plenty of jobs out there for men to where they can make plenty of money to make a living and take care of their family good. And trucking is one of them. It's not the only one. Like all the trades are good. Plumbing and HVAC and electrician, sheet metal. I was in sheet metal in the union when I was about 19 years old. That if I was stuck with that, I would have been making good money the whole time. But I didn't enjoy that like I do this, to be honest. I'm not saying that I don't want to work for myself eventually, because really that's my goal in the long run, you know, is to work for myself. I like being my own boss. I like being able to push my own pace. If I want a day off and I know I need more money, then I can, you know, work 2 days worth of work into that one day and take another day off. You can do that when you're working for yourself. And once you have that taste of that, it's something you never want to go back. And I said before, I've said it, I think even on my channel, I never intend to work for anybody again. And I didn't. But it got to the point, I'll kind of explain stuff a little bit. I haven't really got too personal with my life and stuff. But like as far as where we're staying at right now, me and my family, we're here in Jeffersonville, and we're on 2.5 acres. We live in a little mobile home is what it is. It's a little trailer, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. We do not own this property. We do not own this place. I love this location. And I know the woman well who owns this. I grew up with her son. And we were renting a house in a county over from here for about 3 years. And it was a nice little brick house. I think I was paying $550 a month, 3-bedroom, which is cheap, really, especially now the way prices are. Had central heat and air. It's a nice little house. But this woman contacted me and asked me about mowing this property because she knew I did lawn care. And I told her, you know, I would mow it, and gave her a price. And she said, well, that's too cheap. And she said, I'll tell you what, would you be interested in maybe buying that property? You know, buying that place? And I said, yeah, because I love this location. I grew up here in Jeffersonville. It's where I'm from. My wife's from Powell County, and that's where we were living for a little bit. And I was very happy to get back here, and she loves it here as well, and my kids. And my baby was born here at this location. We've been here now at this location we've been here over 3 years at this location. But anyways, I've never owned a place in my life. I'm 32 years old. My wife is 28 years old. She'll be 29 in July. And neither one of us come from a lot of money by any means. Anyways, when I knew that I had the opportunity to buy this place, I jumped on it, you know. And now we've been here for 3 years and not had to pay a cent. But the thing is, this place has liens on it. And the woman told me that she was going to try to get something done with these liens, you know. And it's 3 years later and still nothing got done. I haven't heard nothing. But since being here, my neighbor next door, who has 2.5 acres, has told me that he may sell his place and I'll be the first one he lets know, which is 2.5 acres right here in the same location. So I'm very interested in both of these lots right here. They're beautiful locations. They're only about 5 minutes from the town here, but you look like you're way out in the country. And so that's part of why I got trucking, because with lawn care and landscaping, I was making a living, you know. I started out with not a whole lot, really. And not a whole lot of work, but then as soon as I started getting work, it picked up quick. And I knew that I could make a good living in lawn care, a good living. But I knew that in order to do that, I would have to push a certain pace and not have the time off that I was wanting off, really. And that I would have to travel probably to Lexington, which is a bigger city, and because I could have got a lot of work there, but I didn't want to go there, and my wife didn't want me there either. It's about an hour away. I wanted to stay more local. And so I did lawn care for about 3 years, and then eventually I quit that, and I said, you know, I'll try the landscaping. And I did that for a while, and it just wasn't busy enough. And honestly, I didn't put enough into it, really. If I would have wanted to make it work, I'm sure I could have. I believe you get what you put in, really. I didn't work at it as hard as I should have if I really wanted to make that work. And I honestly, in a way, kind of didn't. Just working for myself was such a joy, though. It was just the freedom of working for yourself is amazing. And so, regardless of what that is, I know guys that do scrap full time for a living, you know. But at the same time, I've got me, my wife, and 4 children to take care of. So doing that, I was making money, but was I making enough to save money and to buy us a place? No, I wasn't. And so, and I wasn't lying. Like I said in some of the Firewood videos, you can make good money with Firewood, and you can make good money with Firewood. But I did make some good money with Firewood. But the thing is, Firewood's not all year round here. And like I explained with the lawn care, I quit with that and just did landscaping, and it just was hit and miss pretty much. So, and I did some junk removal with that to make up for the lawn care a little bit. But anyways, it's a big responsibility when you run your own business. You've got to maintain all the equipment, and then you've got to still take care of your family. You've got to take care of your customers. You've got to do it all, you know. So it's a huge responsibility. And for me, it just got to the point to where I wasn't making what I knew I needed to make to achieve our goals, which was to buy us a home, a piece of property and home. I don't want a big mansion or not. Like, I don't desire that stuff at all. I don't desire riches. I would like, my papaw used to say it. My dad told me before. He said, papaw used to say all the time, every man needs a hole to crawl into. And what he meant was every man likes to have his own place, you know, his own little piece of land somewhere. Every man wants that, I believe. And especially when you've got a family. So trucking, with the income from trucking, will probably be, I would at least triple. I would say from 3 to 5 times what I was making before per year. 3 to 5 times more per year. I told my wife I believe we can save at least $20,000 a year. At least 20, maybe $30,000 a year. And that's my first year trucking. After my first year trucking, I believe I could save even more than that, because your income goes up and lots of opportunities open up for you after your first year. So I'm explaining some personal things here too that I've never really talked about, like not owning this land, and we live in a little mobile home here, which I'm thankful for that. You know, I'm not high-minded. I've never had a lot. What we did have, my papa worked very hard for. He owned a home, and I lived with him for a while because my mom and dad split up at the same age. I'm getting kind of deep, more personal than I probably. Not that it's a big deal, but anyways, I just wouldn't want to offend my mom or dad. But they split up when I was about 2, so. I went back and forth between them, and when I got older, I lived with my grandparents in a nice house that not nothing fancy, but that my papa built onto, because he was a good roofer and did construction and stuff like that, and he saved his money. Good farmer. He was just an old country man, really. Not old. He actually only died. He was only 49 when he died, and I think I was 12 when he died, and I was very closer to him than anybody in my life. I was closer to that man than anybody in my life. I loved him so much, which I love my parents and stuff, but I was closer to my papa than I was to my parents. But now that I'm older, I care very dearly about my mom and dad now, and I did then. But I'm saying my relationship with my papa was closer and deeper. But anyways, it was a nice place that we lived at there, here in Jeffersonville, is where we lived, on about 4 acres. Beautiful place and beautiful location. And anyways, he died and my mama died. She died at 45 of cancer. He died at 49 of, I don't even want to get into why he died, but I won't say. But anyways, he died young. And then that house sold. And so, my dad and his 2 brothers and sister, which are my uncles and aunt, they ended up getting their portion of the sale and went their separate ways, And what I'm saying is I don't come from a lot. What my family does have, they've worked for. What my papa and them had. And I'm not saying all my family, but I'm saying what my papa had, he worked for. And so I don't come from a whole lot, never have had a whole lot, but now I had it good, with my papa. Like we lived in a nice house. I always had food, everything we needed. We had everything we needed. And since I've been an adult, I've worked some factory jobs. And I heard somebody say this before, something to the nature is like, because they were coming to the United States and somebody was telling me about it. And they said, yeah, I don't know why all these people are driving these junky cars around and stuff. And if I was in the United States, I'd be driving a brand new vehicle and stuff. But what they don't understand, yeah, if you got the right job, you can do that. But there's lots of jobs here, too, to where you do well to pay your rent or pay your bills, especially when you got a family. There's jobs here where you do well to do that. And then there's jobs here that pay great. So it's up to you. What I'm saying is the opportunity that you want to make for yourself or that you want to take for yourself. There's lots of opportunities out there. It's up to you what path you take. And so for trucking, why that appealed to me, all that being said, I was trying to get to this point. Why trucking appealed to me so much, some of the reasons, more than one. For one, I'm by myself in this truck right here. I love that. I don't have a coworker over there who I'm having to carry their weight. That's why I like working for myself, too. I've worked at a lot of factories where I work with people who are just lazy, and I never do like working with lazy people. And it's like they slow you down, And I've worked with some very hard workers, too, don't get me wrong. But anyways, and some of them have really bad attitudes. I'm sure we all know of these things. And so anyways, I've always liked working by myself more. And so that's part of why trucking appealed to me. Another thing is the income right off the bat. Your income can make my goals happen for me and my family that I want to happen. I don't want nothing fancy. I'd like to get us a piece of land. I even thought about building us like an off-grid log cabin, honestly. Because like I said, we don't own anything right now. We don't own anything. My equipment stuff that you've seen me have, my zero turns, my trailers, my chainsaws, weed eaters, vehicles, all that I've owned, My shed there, I own that. All that stuff I own. We live very frugal because I've never had a whole lot of income. So we've learned to live very frugal, and manage money, And I've always been the one that does that, My wife takes care of home, and I'm always at work and manage the money and take care of us. But right now, if you notice, because I've followed like Realtor and stuff like that for years, those apps, and the price of properties has went up significantly. But that being said, I really love this location. My goal is still to hopefully one day buy this location or the one right next door here, my neighbor's. If he decides he wants to sell it, I'd definitely be interested in buying it. But if not, I understand as well. And if neither one of these, I still want to get us somewhere, So that's a big part of it. I had to make a choice. Yeah, I love doing my own business, and yeah, you can make good money in it. But right now, I was struggling to make enough money to save too. And after that, because sometimes I would put thousands into my truck. Like I had to get a new motor for that Dodge Ram, and it was like, I think it gave $2,500 for another truck that had been wrecked. And then the clutch going out of it, and just all that stuff is very expensive. Your zero turns going down, and so it was hard to save money. And I'm not saying that you can't, because you can. There's some people that are very successful. I'm saying for me personally, near the last couple years, I really struggled, especially to save money. But in this right here, no doubt about it, Lord willing, so long as nothing changes significantly for me or anything like that. We're very frugal. I have no vehicle payments. I have no no phone payments. I think lots of people try to live above their means, and I've seen people do that before, and they'll have car payments that they can't afford, and then they lose their cars, and then they lose their phone, and then they lose this, and they lose that. I try not to get payments if I can avoid them. Now, I'll take them if I think it's a wise choice for me in that situation. I'm saying in the future I will, if I think that, but I'm going to try to avoid them at all costs. So my goal with this job is to, and I believe this job is great for my goals, but is to get us a piece of land and a home on it. Whether I build us a log cabin off grid, or whether we buy us a home or a place that's got a home on it already, because those are around here as well sometimes for reasonable prices. Houses, and there's some with mobile homes on them. There's some with double wides on them. Lots of different options. But my goal is to, as soon as I can, within a year or two with this job, at least buy us a piece of land within a year or two. That's my goal. And I believe I intend to make it happen too. I intend to make it happen, because if I decided to, if I had to, I could become an owner operator, and my income would go up to around $2,000 a week, $2,500 a week. But the only thing with that is I think you've got to be gone a lot more, because you've got your truck payments and stuff. You've got a lot more responsibility, and I don't want that. I never want that. I want as much time with my family as I can get. But now after my first year, I can get jobs, from what I hear, locally, making really good money. Probably around $2,000 a week locally. And so that's my goal. But I know I've kind of rambled on a whole lot. I was intending to do a tour and everything. So the tour, I guess, is going to be kind of a short tour, because this video is almost 30 minutes already. And I've kind of got personal in it and everything. I wonder if I should even upload that. But I've talked about my goals and everything. And now some people don't care at all. And you may have things similar. You may have goals. You may have a family. And you may want to get you all a place and everything, and not be 40, 50, 60 years old when you own a place. I'm 32, just turned 32. I'd like to own a place by the time I'm 34, 35, for sure, Lord willing, for my family. I'd like to have something to pass on to my kids in case something ever happened to me, and to my wife, I'd definitely like to have that, and that's my intention. But that's a big part of why trucking appealed to me. There's goals that I have, not just for me and my family, for other family members as well. My mom has helped me a lot in my life. She's helped me a whole lot, and I want to help my mom back in big ways financially, and I intend to. And my little brother, he's helped me. I intend to help him. My dad, me and him don't talk a whole lot. He needs help. I'd like to help him too. But we don't really associate a lot, me and my dad. But anyways, I wish you the best with it if you decide to get into it. I do believe, like I said, if this sounds like it appeals to you, it is a good job. You've got your space to yourself. You've not got somebody nagging at you all day, or I haven't had yet. Anyways, my fleet managers have all been friendly so far, which I'm just now into this. But I'm looking forward to the future, and I know that this industry is huge and has so many opportunities. Getting your CDL, for one thing, is huge. Then getting your experience, after a 1 year experience, is huge, because then you're so much more valuable to so many different companies. And then I think once you get 2 or 3 years, you're even more valuable. Then you can go, I think, just about anywhere you want. And that income from this can open up other opportunities for you as well. Like for me, I plan to use some of the income from this as well, not only to buy us a place, but to buy other places to rent out and stuff. And that's my goal. And as I said, I'm young, I'm willing, and I'm able right now. And I'm a hard worker. I'm able to work a whole lot harder than I can in this truck. Physically, I'm able to, and I love physical work. And I'm not saying that in a bragging way, but this there's so many things about this that I like. And so that's why I chose this. And I'm not saying this is the easiest thing. Physically, it's not hard. It's not hard physically. It does wear on you, it drains you, it makes you tired after doing it all day, but it's not hard physically like the jobs I've done, not even close, not even a comparison. And so that's why I'm going to try to on the weekends. I told my wife this morning, I said, I'm going to try to start, Saturday mornings at least, get up real early and split some wood. And maybe Friday as well. And then on my days off and stuff too, And when I get local, I can split wood hopefully every day. when I get a local job in the evenings when I get home. There's a guy on here recently that messaged and said, I didn't expect to see trucking videos on your channel, because I built my channel on Firewood for the most part. And he said, I really enjoy watching you show us how to split wood with an axe. And I want to make it very clear, I am not going to stop splitting wood with an axe. I am not going to stop that. And I'm not going to stop posting, Lord willing. As long as I'm able, I will always do that. Lord willing, I promise you that. I've wanted to bad. I don't hardly have no wood left here at home. I've been walking around here looking for wood to split. And so I'm going to have to try to get some more. And I've even considered maybe in the future getting truckloads of wood. But firewood is, I have big plans for different things with firewood. Even blacksmithing. Here's my blacksmithing hammer. Where is it? Right here. So this is the better hammer I got. That's why I didn't buy part of why I didn't buy a real good one. But here's the one I'm going to use for my tires. That's the one I use for blacksmithing. And I intend to get a little bit better forge. And in the future, I intend to make me my own axe head. Not to try to make a bunch of them and sell. Not that I'd be against selling them every now and then either. But mainly to use for myself. And I want to make one very similar to the Fiskars with a wooden handle. Even the handle similar. But I really enjoy doing that. I'd really enjoy it, I believe. I've only made a couple things blacksmithing, and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, all that's far from over. Don't think that I'm just going to... Yeah, I'm a trucker now. I am. For now in my life, at least. Like I said, I've got lots of things in my head. Life is short, and I know that. I'm young, I'm willing, and I'm able to work. And I've got a family to take care of, and I've got to put them above everything else. My family comes before me. My family comes before my own desire. So that's how it should be. I believe that. You should put your family above yourself. And so I want to do what's best for them. And I believe I made a good choice in doing this. And if you decide to come to trucking, like there's some of you all on there I'm talking to that are thinking about it, and some of you that are, I wish you the best with it. I just say, work hard at it. I've got so little time. I don't even hardly feel right even giving any advice because I'm just now starting. But I'm just saying from what helped me is to really study your pre-trip and stuff like that. From what I understand, getting a CDL used to be a lot easier than it is now. Now their pre-trip is pretty extensive, and not saying it's real hard either. And you just got to get kind of comfortable driving these trucks and try to learn as much as you can when you go to these places to get your CDL, whatever method that is that you take. Like rail, for example. Try to learn as much as you can. That's an accelerated program. Try to learn as much as you can in that amount of time. Take it all in. When you're at the hotel, study your pre-trip. Don't just sit there and relax and go to sleep. Get there and study at least for an hour every now and then. And make sure you stay on top of all the work that they give you on the JJ Kellers they give you on your phone on the Rail app. You'll know what those are once you get there, if you don't already. But make sure you do those because those can hold you back. A guy got held back for a week from getting behind on those. But anyways, I'm looking forward to it. Tomorrow I leave out at 7 a.m. I'm not sure why he's making me leave that late. I'd prefer to leave earlier than that. But he asked me Friday, he said, what day do you want to leave back out? And I didn't expect him to ask me. I figured he'd tell me. And I said, Monday, like regional. I didn't say that to him, but I just texted him on this little computer and said Monday. And he said, okay, 700, which is 7 a.m. And I said, okay, thank you. So tomorrow morning I'm leaving. I'll probably get up around 4 or 5 a.m., maybe 5. Because when you can get rest in this, you need to. Even a 30-minute nap helps you a lot in this when you're tired. I was with my trainer, and we was driving, and we switched out because I was so tired because I didn't get a lot of sleep. And I slept for like 30 minutes in that passenger seat, and that helped me so much. And then we switched back. But if you decide to do it and you've got your own goals and stuff like that, I definitely think this is a good thing. I think trades are a good thing. Plumbing, HVAC, construction, all of that stuff. I think just labor, skilled labor is huge. And this is skilled labor right here. It does take some skills to drive these trucks and to maneuver them and the stress that you got to endure and to get through these cities and all that stuff. I've seen some guys that have went through some very stressful things on YouTube that I've watched. I'm not talking about me. I'm saying some guys I've watched. It's took a lot of skill to do the things they've done. Not me personally. I'm not skilled in it. I'm just a newbie, a noob. But I'm really enjoying it, and I am learning, and even these hard experiences are learning experiences. Even these things that some people may call mistakes and stuff are learning experience. Like me the other day, for example, almost running my clock out. I learned, not to try to push it that close. Because to my understanding, you can get a violation if you do that. But anyways, I'll probably make 2 separate videos now because this one's so long. I'll probably make a tour in another video. I told you I can ramble. Anybody that's watched my videos for a while knows I can ramble on and on and on. And all of you that's watched me from the beginning with Firewood, like I said, the guy commented the other day mentioned that I don't ever intend to quit that. Just right now at this moment in my life, I've got so much going on that I've not really had time to get that situated. And another thing too, I've got to get me another truck because that old Ford that I had, I sold it. Some of y'all may have seen that Ford. That old Ford didn't last very long. It had engine problems. I thought it was good to go. I fixed the problem that it did have, but it had an engine problem, and the engine went on it, so it didn't last very long at all. And it was unfortunate. But so I've got to get something to haul firewood in, for one, which I intend to do very soon. By this spring or summer, I intend to be hauling firewood on my weekends off and stuff like that, and splitting firewood a lot more frequent. And not only that, I got my axe in here right now. I put it in today. I intend to, while I'm out on the road, split wood too. So look, so I'm not just going to do videos on the weekend. I don't intend to. I intend to, while I'm out on the road in these other states, split wood in those as well. Yeah, I love splitting wood. Don't get me wrong. If I could make a good living doing that every day, all year round, that's what I would do probably. But unfortunately, it's not all year round. But I love it and I miss it. Actually, it sounds weird. Maybe get a little goofy. I had a dream of hand splitting wood last night. Maybe where I was thinking about it and watching some other people on YouTube. But yeah, I really enjoy it. It's probably my favorite physical activity. It is my favorite physical activity. It is. But anyways, as I said, I'm far from done with firewood. No way. But yes, there will be many trucking videos from now on. Yes. And guess what? In the future, if I change to something else, if I become a tow truck driver, I'll upload that as well. Because it ain't just about what I'm doing. It's about I want to help other people, no matter what I'm doing. And I know some people will leave; they won't be interested anymore. As some already have, and some have, and some have joined. My subscribers keep climbing. I'm almost to 110,000 now. And sometimes it slows down, and sometimes it picks up really quick out of nowhere. And but my goal is to, like I said, I explained all my goals financially, but another bigger thing with YouTube is to help other people, not only financially, but spiritually. So I've got to be in the right place to do that spiritually, to where I can help other people. But that's what I want in the future, and YouTube is a good way to do that, talking about the Word of God and everything. And being an example of the Word of God, more than anything else, being an example of the Word of God, being a doer of the Word. That's what a Christian is a doer. Like Jesus said, but be ye doers of the Word, and not just hearers only, deceiving your own selves, he said. I believe a Christian is a born-again doer of the Word of God. I believe that's what a Christian is, a born-again doer. But anyways, I've went almost 40 minutes. I can make these videos all the time and talk on and on and on, because I'm the kind of person, as I said before, I've always got so much in my head, and it's very easy to just look at a camera or not even look at that. If I would just by myself, I do it a lot when I'm working, splitting firewood. I'll talk to myself without even really realizing I'm talking out loud sometimes. So I can go on and on. I've got a lot of thoughts in my head. I think a lot, and I try to think positive. I'm aware of things that are bad, and I believe in condemning those things. But I don't like to dwell on them either. I don't think it's good to dwell on bad things. But I think they should be condemned, and people should stand against them for sure. Bad things, and I intend to. And stand for what's good. Stand up for what's good, even when you're a minority, and even when you know that everybody around you is going to hate you for it. And I think you need to stand for what's right always, and not just stand for it. Say you stand for it, but actually live for it. And I felt in that a lot. But anyways, I appreciate you watching, and I'm heading back out tomorrow. I should have a GoPro by next weekend. Next weekend I should have a GoPro. So then I should have a camera here on my head, and I think the set I'm getting comes with 3 maybe. So I'm planning to mount some up here on the dash so I can get footage of some of the places I go, and also have one on my head. And I'm going to try my best to figure out how, when I'm in these other states, I think after 6 months you get 50 miles that you can drive, from where you park at. I can't remember what they call that, but you can drive within 50 miles to do personal things. And so I may end up getting something like some guy was talking about, getting a little electric scooter, some way, somehow, or even Lyft or Uber. I would be willing to do that. So that's actually a really good option, Lyft or Uber. But I may, like I did it when I was in Indiana. I looked it up on the marketplace and on Craigslist firewood, and I found it free. And so I'll go to these areas and split the wood, and or if I got to get a permit for the forest there, national forest, whatever. I'm planning to split wood in these other states somehow. I haven't got that figured out yet, but I got my axe in here now. I plan to get me a saw in here that I can store under my bunk back there, and maybe electric, because I don't know that it'd be smart to have a gas powered anything inside this cab. As much as I enjoy gas way better than electric myself, there's no comparison in power in my opinion. But yeah, I intend to make it happen. Like I said, I intend to split wood in other places. Even if the people just need it split for them, I may reach out every now and then and say, hey, look, you mind if I come split that wood for you? I did that for another man, an older man, and he let me do it. And I just got footage for it in return, So, but I am intended to do that 100%. And so this is going to open up lots of things in firewood for me. I know it hasn't happened yet, and I know it's definitely slowed down. I've been so busy with this for the last 2 months or so, 2.5 now or so, that I've not really had much time for firewood. But when I get home and I have time, I've been happy to do it. But I've split just about everything I've got here at home now. I've split just about everything, sold just about everything. I've got some left, but it's not seasoned, and it's split for the most part. So, but anyways, I've rambled on long enough. I guess I'm going to get on off here. And then I may do a short tour of the truck as well. I've talked in this one. I was intending to talk for like 5 minutes and do a tour, and here I am 40-some minutes into it. And even got personal and all kinds of stuff. But anyways, I don't mind. There's some of y'all I've been talking to for a long time, and there's some that I know are interested in trying trucking, and I encourage you to go for it, I don't think that it's ever going anywhere, to be honest with you, trucking. I think there's security in it. It's just a matter of what you want to do, what kind of trucking you want to do, whether it's regional or local or national, and what works best for you and stuff, And if you're willing to go through about the 2-month process or so to make it happen. And I believe it's well worth it. But until next time, I appreciate all the supportive and kind comments. Nobody owes me anything, and I know that. And that's why I try to make it a point to reply to you all and to tell you I'm thankful for when you do support me, because you don't owe me anything. If you never commented on my videos again, many of you, you've done so much already, and I'm thankful for that. If you never did it again, I'd still be thankful to you. So you don't owe me anything. I'd like to help many of you and meet many of you in one way or another, and help you in some way or another. But anyways, thank you so much for everything. I'm very grateful, very thankful for this opportunity. Very thankful for to Rail and how well everything's went, and my trainer that I had, my instructors. I'm very thankful for everything, and I'm very positive about this entire experience and situation. So, but until next time, be safe and God bless.